In this session, I shared with the students that I'm mentoring how switching to a career in tech changed my life and helped me increase my income from $2,500 to between $50,000 and $80,000 a month. My message here is simple. Considering a career in tech can change your life for the better. And when you decide to go for a career in tech, be consistent in achieving your goal. Don't take no for an answer, and also understand that it will require hard work and consistency, but it is a goal you can definitely achieve. If you are interested in starting a career in cloud and DevOps, but don't know where to begin, consider joining my mentorship program, where I have helped many students transition into the cloud the same way I transitioned into the cloud from a CAD design background. You can find the link to the program in this video's description. I guarantee that I can help you build the skills required to get a job as a cloud engineer without you breaking your bank or paying me thousands of dollars. So if you have the time, please watch this video on how switching my career to tech changed my life. Thank you. Every now and then I'll get a couple of questions where someone is discouraged, someone don't think they'll get a job, or maybe you just don't think you can learn it. If you really want to change your life, I'll keep it that simple. Changing your career into the tech field is one of the ways you can do that. And that is certainly what happened for me. And I want to have like a moment of transparency with you guys. And I'm just going to share some of the things that kind of kept me motivated when I started and what pretty much led to where I am today. So the first thing I wanted to share with you guys is this. This was the last field I was working in before I switched my field into cloud computing. This was my paycheck. Certain things I kept for motivational purpose because I just always know that I was going to change whatever I was going through. So I pretty much went from here to now on a consistent basis. This is one of the things that gets me nervous because I really don't like talking about finance, but I definitely want to let you guys know that you are doing the right thing by trying to build the skills to get into cloud computing. Let's even just talk about the base pay for a cloud engineer. So in this job, this was like around 40,000 a year, around 40 to 45,000 a year. As a base pay of a cloud engineer, you can be making anywhere from 130,000 up. So you can make 130, 150, 170. Yeah. I've taught people that are making at least 170. So the possibilities are endless with switching your field to cloud computing and increasing your income. For me, when I learned my cloud computing skills, and one thing I did is I got a 9-to-5 job. I still have a 9-to-5 job. Now, all these things that I'm doing, mentoring you guys, is on top of my 9-to-5 job. I also have a YouTube channel. So ways you can monetize your cloud computing skills are you can get a 9-to-5 job. You can start a social media page. It doesn't even have to be like a YouTube or something. Maybe like your TikTok account or Instagram account. Start sharing some of the things you've learned. You can monetize your skills that way. You can start your own company and start bidding for government contracts. That is one of the ways you can make more money. And another way is you can invest your money. So what I do is most of the money that I've made, I invest most of it. So instead of buying luxury items, I just invest most of it. And that allowed me from going from making 2,500 a month to on the lowest month, I make maybe around 50,000. On the highest month, I've made about 80,000 a month. And I'm sharing that with you guys because the only thing that is separating you from going from wherever you are now to just monetizing your skills is just building the skill sets. There's no special quality that I have that you guys don't have. There isn't any advantage that I have that you guys don't have in terms of just your ability to be able to learn cloud computing and just monetize your skills. And part of the things I want to share with you guys is when I always talk about when people say, I'm not really a computer person, but I wasn't a computer person. Where I was even coming from, in a million years, I would never think I would be doing anything cloud or anything computer related because I used to run from anything that has to do with education. How I grew up in Nigeria and things that I saw around me, I saw a lot of people doing handwork, like people are mechanic, people are like panel beater, and that was the impression I had up till even when I was in my 30s, I was still avoiding doing anything that has to do with using my brain. I was looking for things that involves using my hands. So even when I went to college in America, one of the things what I majored in school was fixing cars. Not even, those body shop people that they fix when you're getting an accident, they fix it. That was what my first major was in college, because for the longest time I was just avoiding anything that has to do with book, because growing up, that is what I saw. So I kind of like want to share some of those stuff with you guys so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. I'm telling you guys that it is not a matter of anything. It is all in you and your efforts. That is what is going to make the room for you. So yeah. So this is a picture of me in Nigeria. You can see this was probably like the first decade of my life, right? You can tell by the way I was dressed that this is us living in ghetto. This is my little sister, right? So this is kind of how I grew up. And I always kept this picture just as a reminder for me, even when I'm at this stage, to remember where I came from. So this is me in Nigeria, living in the ghetto, right? Here, probably didn't have much education because I used to go to public school. When I came to the United States, I could barely speak English. I remember when I went to college and they gave us those tests you have to take to enroll, so that they test where you are, where they would prerequisite class you would start in college. They gave me one of those computer tests. I failed miserably. I didn't even know how to open a file. That's how bad I didn't even know how to use computer. So this was me in Nigeria, which I would say the first decade of my life. Then I was probably under 10 here. Then the second decade of my life, this was still me in Nigeria, right? Before I moved to the United States, right? Still no background. I'm showing you guys to show you that I didn't have any background in tech, no background in nothing. This was me. Then when I came to America, because sometimes I hear, and if you are in Nigeria, don't be discouraged too, because like I'm saying, all you need to do is have the skill sets. If you have the skill sets, you will be able to get to wherever you want to get to, right? All the marketplace cares about is that you have the skill sets that someone is looking for. I have people in Nigeria, like you guys, all the animation you guys see on my videos that I've been updating, someone in Nigeria is doing those animations for me. And I pay him really, really good money that he won't find someone in Nigeria to pay him that type of money to do just those animation. He can work on maybe like 5 minutes video for me, and because I pay him in dollars. So whenever the dollar to naira ratio was high, on 5 minutes video, he could be making anywhere from, I remember the last time he made 150,000 when I converted all that money for him for just like a 5 minutes video. So that is a skill set in Nigeria that is making room for him. So if you are in Nigeria, don't use the condition as an excuse not to learn. It's better to have the skill sets and figure out how you can monetize it in this tech world that we are in. Because now everything is information, everything is online. You don't necessarily have to find a local company to hire you. You can always think of ways you can monetize your skills online. A good example that I want to share is Afiz. Afiz, I remember I met him on LinkedIn. He bought my course and he's re-enrolled twice. He lives in Nigeria and he's gone through the program. Now he's using what he's learned to monetize. He's pretty much monetizing his skills from Nigeria and starting something. And I believe what he has started would definitely make room for him, and he's going to be able to grow from there in the future. So here he started a YouTube channel. You guys can feel free to subscribe to his channel and support him. So this is him. He started a YouTube channel. Going to subscribe to his channel here. And you can see he's making really clean videos on things he's learned, and he's also sharing his knowledge on his cloud computing journey and things he's learned. This is exactly how I started the AOS Node 2. It was just me wanting to share my skills with people, and that is what turned into where I am today, right? Don't underestimate a small beginning, because it can definitely lead you to places you would never even imagine you'll be. So if you are in Nigeria, I'm saying this to say, learn something tech, because we are in the technology era. Tech is not going anywhere. There will always be cloud engineer jobs. Don't let anyone tell you whether you can get a job. I'm telling you, the difference between you getting a job or not getting a job is your skill sets. It has nothing to do with how the economy is doing. There will always be need for cloud engineer. I have a friend in UK that we grew up in Nigeria together. He's in UK now. He's also learning cloud computing here. He doesn't have times to join, but he's part of this program he's learning. I've also had people that recently moved from Nigeria to Canada, and now they are in Canada. They can't really find job, so they are looking for ways to make money. If you build your skills in Nigeria, you just never know where you'll be tomorrow. You might have the opportunity to travel abroad. You have that skill set as something you can fall back on. Let's say you have cloud computing skills and you end up moving to Canada. You can start looking for cloud computing jobs in Canada or even online. So this was pretty much the first 2 decades of my life, right, being Nigeria. Even when I came to America and I told you guys I went to school, learned, majored in body work, right? That didn't work. I went back to school again and I majored in CAD design, right? That was what led me to making this type of money, right? So even in America, you can still fall into that trap of if you don't use your mind and you don't try to learn. I feel like when you learn what you think is hard, it makes your life easy. So for me, I was always looking for the easy way out. I was looking for things I can use my hand to do that doesn't require me to think. And I was trying to get through life like that. And that wasn't really working for me. And that was why I changed to cloud computing. So even in America, if you don't change your mindset to what it needs to be, you can also still be following that cycle. And that was what happened to me for a very long time. I used to just hope things would get better. I used to just hope. I was like, well, things is going to get better one day. But then I was doing the same thing every day where I would go to work, come home, watch TV. Then I was doing the same thing. Then I realized that if I keep doing the same thing, I'm not going to get a different result. So in order to get a different result, I have to do something different. And that is when I was doing the research, someone told me about AWS. Really, that's where everything started from. So I'm saying all these things to say, one, your background doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you are a tech person, a computer person, you went to school for computer science or whatever. If you want to learn cloud computing, you can learn it. It is just going to be based on your effort, and what you put in it is what you're going to get. That is what I want you guys to know. And when you are going through that phase, you will get moments where you feel discouraged. I'm saying just be stubborn. No matter what you are facing or what you are feeling when you are going through it, just be stubborn. Tell yourself that no matter what it is, you will come across on the other side of it. You would make sure you achieve that goal that you've set for yourself to be a cloud engineer. Unless if you've just done it and you realize that, okay, this is not really anything for me, then in that case, you have to find something that is for you. And the last thing I'm going to say is, I want you guys to remember this. Going from my background living in the ghetto and now where I'm making amount that I never thought I would be making in a month, the only thing that was different then and now is building my skill sets. That is it. I started with zero knowledge. But it was just that I was just stubborn. I just said, you know what? I want to learn this thing and I will learn it. And that is what got me here today. So this is just a quick reminder for you guys that you are on the right path. If you've discovered that cloud engineering is what is for you, it is only a matter of time.